My next guest is scheduled to attend. He's on the committee that's doing this hearing. Welcome, everyone. Republican from Pennsylvania, Congressman Tom Marino. You are on the Judiciary Committee, I believe. That correct, sir?
I am.
Okay, and you're going to be in these hearings today. Whose side are you on? I mean, are you one of those who's saying, hey, Apple, you got blood on your hands if you don't open it up? Or are you on the other side of the coin? Where do you stand?
Now, I'll tell you right where I stand. I'm waiting to hear the testimony. I'm a law enforcement guy. I was a prosecutor for 18 years, but encryption is a very important part of our personal lives. We carry it around with us routinely in our phones and our pads. But also law enforcement needs information. But that's why we're having the hearing today.
Yeah,
I want our public, the people to hear what's taking place, what each side has to testify to. And then once I garner all this information, then I'll make a determination as to what, if any, legislation Congress has to implement. Because this is a policy issue and Congress makes the laws.
Okay, why isn't Tim Cook there?
I have no idea why Mr. Cook is not here, but that's not going to prevent me from asking the person from Apple some tough questions, as I'll ask the federal law enforcement agencies and the local tough questions as well. We get back to a personal issue. We get back to the personal property and our information that we have. But we're talking about a law that's 227 years old, and we have to compare that law to today's society with the high-tech equipment that we carry around with us, with a myriad of information on personal as well.
Okay. Ambassador John Bolton was on the program just a moment ago, and off camera he suggested a question which you or your fellow panelists might want to ask of Apple. And that question is this: how many concessions has Apple made to China? That's a pretty good question.
That's a darn good question, and that's really at the top of my list.
Yeah, because, I mean, they have made concessions to China. I mean, it's not quite the same as unlocking the whole iPhone system. But that's a pretty good question, because Apple is defending its commercial and economic interests. And it wants to do business in China, and it has made concessions to China. I think that's a pretty good question. You will ask it?
I think it's an excellent question. When it gets to me and that question hasn't been asked, I'm going to drill down in that question. And my question's even broken down into examples. But we got to get down to the issue that Congress makes the laws. We're going to have this open to the public. That's why we want the public to get involved and call us and tell us what they think about this. Because as a personal citizen, I don't want just anybody getting information that I have. But also as a prosecutor, if it's information that's going to be handled properly through the warrant system, these are all issues that I will weigh out before I make my decision.
Congressman Tom Marino, thank you very much for joining us. So we're watching this afternoon. Thank you.
You're welcome.